Alrighty, guys. Hello, and welcome to a gaming news update. Sorry for the late release of this news update covering highlights from Summer Game Fest as well as the Xbox Game Showcase. So I thought we'll cover these two in this post here as a chance to sort of reflect on some of the great announcements that took place. I thought I'll pick some highlights that might interest some of you, and there'll be links to the blog post if you want to see more further highlights to some things that they're doing in the some of the other announcements that took place at these events. So we're going to start at Summer Game Fest because there was quite a bit of announcements that came from that show. First things first, they announced that a brand new that longly rumored Lego Horizon Adventures kicked off the show, where we finally get to see Aloy from Horizon now in a Lego environment that's going to be releasing holiday 2024. So it's going to be at the end of the year, coming to PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch. All day one, pretty much. Are expected to be releasing all day one when they release holiday 2024. Obviously, no proper dates were given. I'm sure Sony will share some official details of the actual date soon for Lego Horizon. Now, the next major announcement we got was obviously Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. This is the multiplayer Harry Potter game that was worked on alongside Hogwarts Legacy. This was its separate thing because I mean, obviously, a lot of people mentioned about Quidditch Champion, about how come Quidditch Champions is not in the actual why can't we do it in Hogwarts Legacy? That was because they were planning a multiplayer version of Quidditch Champions, well, a game called Quidditch Champions that was going to be releasing for the 3rd of September this year. PC, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S. And the best part is that should you happen to be a PlayStation Plus member, you will get this day one on the 3rd of September. So the second it comes out on that exact day, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can download the game through your PlayStation Plus membership and be able to start playing Hogwarts, Harry Potter's Quidditch Champions if you want to be a Quidditch champion right out of the gate. So that's pretty cool that we've got that pretty much that nice announcement that Sony have managed to bag it for PlayStation Plus for day one. We also had another major announcement was regarding 2K's major announcement, which is Civilian 7, which they promised that is going to be releasing day and date on PC and console in 2025. They're going to be having another reveal, a major reveal, gameplay reveal in August for this game. So this is apparently the game that they were teasing as the biggest and most beloved franchises. And this is the game that they were teasing this entire time from 2K. So you can expect more details later this summer in August. We also had another trailer for Black Myth Wonka, which is coming on the 20th of August for PC and PlayStation 5. But they have obviously do seem to promise that they will be releasing a Series X and S version at a later date. But obviously, because of standard quality reasons as to why that version's being delayed right now. Only Human, this sci-fi fantasy game, is going to be launching on PC on the 9th of July. I hope we get a console version of this at some point. Obviously, no details as of yet of when that's going to be. We also had another trailer for Space Marine 2, the Warhammer game that's coming out on the 9th of September for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. Got a further glimpse of that game ahead of its September release, which is pretty nice. Then, of course, we got another major announcement that also came is that obviously, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you'll probably be pleased to know that Spark Zero will be releasing in October. Yes, this October. They're going to be releasing October the 11th, that is when they're going to release Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for PC, PS5, and Series X and S for all the Dragon Ball fans who want to check out that game. We also had a glimpse at Delta Force Hog Ops that's going to get a global alpha in July, playable on PC. No details as to when we're going to get a console alpha. No details whatsoever, but I'm hoping we'll something soon, hopefully. Anyway, now we move on to obviously another big major announcement is the fact that, well, we finally had confirmation from about the release date of First Descent. First Descent will be coming on the 2nd of July for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. This is the new looter shooter, third-person looter shooter game that we had the chance to try out on the console beta last September. now we're going to be able to play it in full this July. We also had a glimpse at the Among Us TV series, which or animated series, should I say, that is going to be rolling out. It's only basically a teaser, really, but it's going to be coming soon. That's all we know in terms of its release. So I guess we'll just have to wait for now until we hear otherwise of what the plans are. In regards to Sonic and Shadow Generation, they've set the date for the 25th of October for those who are curious about that game's release. That is when that's going to be coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. For those who want to check out this new Sonic title for the end of the year. Duke Awaken, we also got another glimpse of that, basically another story cinematic for this one. No dates yet, but we already know it's going to be an open world survival MMO set within the movie series that is going to finally get its own release on PC, PS5, and Series X and S. So hopefully we'll have release dates announced later this year. Fingers crossed. Then we come to obviously another major announcement, which is Alan Awake 2. They released the new DLC this past weekend called Night Spring. And they also went on to say that there's going to be physical versions of Alan Awake 2, which, by the way, you can start pre-ordering right now should you fancy getting your hands on physical editions. There are a deluxe edition and a collector's editions available for Alan Wake 2, should you fancy adding an actual proper physical version of the game. Then this is another major announcement from Amazon Games, New World Entomium, which is the new sort of big massive update for New World, and now finally brings the game to console. Finally, New World makes its debut on PS5 and Series X and S on the 25th of October, and you can play the game fully in single player or co-op with this new update, which is going to be tremendous for people on console who are going to get their first taste of New World, which was a massive hit on PC a year ago, and now we finally get us console players can now have a chance to experience this Amazon game hit that's become massive on PC in the last year, and hopefully it'll become a hit again with this new update and this big release for New World in October. Then another major major announcement that came out was the fact that, well, we found out that Skater, that free-to-play Skater game that's coming out from EA, from MCOM, who had that weird promotion, or that weird corporate video, basically announced that they're going to be having console playtests in autumn for the skateboard game for those who want to try out Skater. There's a new major update for Power World that's going to be coming out on the 27th of June. If you want to check out the new raid and content that they're going to be dropping for Power World, there's also going to be new level caps and buildings, etc., coming for that. But of course, we can't miss the fact that Valorant is coming to console. You heard me right. This year, PS5 and Series X and S will be introducing Valorant. Riot Games is bringing the game to these platforms, and it's going to start with a limited beta run on the 14th of June, which they're allowing you to sign up for right now. So by the end of the week, hopefully by this weekend, from Friday on and throughout the weekend, will be our first opportunity to try out the console version of Valorant through this free limited beta, which hopefully I'll get the opportunity to be invited on and hopefully get a chance to try it out this weekend, which would be quite nice, as I've never played Valorant, but I've seen many friends who have, and I'll be curious to see how I do. So, yeah, Valorant finally coming to console. So glad that this has been rumored for some time, that they were working on a concept of a prototype for a console release, and they finally announced the console version of Valorant, which is something that I'm sure console players were really hoping Valorant was coming, and it's coming this year to these platforms. And they've even said in a blog post, in their sort of preview with Xbox, that they're going to allow cross progression between PC and console. So that means you can bring all your progression and your stuff you brought from the storefront, etc., over to your console version of Valorant when it comes out. The only thing that's missing is crossplay. So I'm hoping crossplay will be the next major update they do for Valorant before, hopefully, with the release of the console version, full release of the console release, we'll get a crossplay update, fingers crossed. And then they finally wrap things up with Phantom Blade Zero being another major highlight from Summer Game Fest, which doesn't really tell us the release date, but they do give us like a world tour of when you're going to be able to try it, get hands-on the game, which was at Summer Game Fest this past weekend. and they're going to be at Gamescom. They're going to be at Tokyo Game Show later in the year. So there's going to be, so for anybody who's lucky enough to go to Gamescom, you'll have a chance to try out this game and see for yourself this title. So there you go. These are just some of the announcements that came out of Summer Game Fest this past Friday that pretty much set the stage for other major announcements to come, and that obviously leads us directly to the Xbox Showcase on Sunday, which have had some great announcements coming out of this one. But we're going to pick a few out of here because it'll take forever to go through all of them. So the first major one we're going to discuss is Avowed. This is a game that a lot of Xbox players are looking up to. This game from Obsidian Entertainment. They released a new story trailer. They haven't said exactly when in 2024 we're going to get Avowed. It is coming, obviously, day one for Game Pass, available on Series X and S, Windows, PC, Steam, and Cloud, but no proper release date as of yet for Avowed, but I'm sure we'll get rounds. Hopefully we'll get a proper release date soon for this title for those who are interested. We also had the confirmation of Doom: The Dark Ages coming to Xbox in 2025, but not just Xbox, Windows, PC, and Steam, and day one for Game Pass, but they're also going to be launching on PlayStation 5, so the rumors were true. It's coming to PS5 in 2025 for this release, and as it says, it's pretty much a medieval style Doom game, pretty much is what we're looking at, with a sort of cybernetic feel to it as well. So that's going to be, so you can wish list this now on the Xbox store if you want to get ready for when pre-orders properly start happening for Doom: The Dark Ages, which pre-orders haven't gone live yet, but you can at least wish list it on the Xbox store to be ready for when pre-orders do eventually go live. Then, of course, we come to another look at Fable, the new Fable game that's coming. It's going to be definitely coming in 2025. That's what Playground Games have said. It's a part of their collaboration with Emerald Montreal, which is who they're collaborating with to support them on the ongoing development of Fable. And of course, you can wish list it right now. And yeah, they're pretty much set to go for next year, pretty much. For Series X and S, Windows, PC, and Steam, and day one on Game Pass when it does launch. Obviously, another major announcement was Gears of War finally having a brand new game called E-Day, short for Emergence Day, as the within the game lore. Obviously, set 14 years before God of War. This is going to focus on two of its main heroes returning as part of this new mainline game for the Gears of War series. And they've also said after the trailer that this game's going to also made its debut in 4K resolution, 30 frames per second. So it definitely sounds like they're going to be pushing for 4K resolutions with this game when it comes out, which is going to be good. And also the cool thing is, it was optimized for streaming, but it doesn't represent the final game's performance, which is interesting. So I'm sure we're going to get a gameplay reveal probably within the next year. We might not see anything until the next Xbox Showcase at this rate, but nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out in 2025. It might not come out till 2026 for all we know, but you never know. We're bound to get something from this soon enough. We also had a new trailer for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is a Bethesda title coming out later this year. No proper dates yet, but I mean, it's been currently rumored to be targeted a December release, so we'll see how it all goes when Indiana Jones and the Great Circle makes its way to Series X and S and PC as a day one release on Game Pass. We'll see how it all plays out. We also had another look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 coming on the 19th of November, where we'll now have the opportunity to control the characters and it's going to be a part of a new career mode that's going to be coming in. As well as that, there's going to be an opportunity for VIP charter service, air racing, firefighting, search and rescue, commercial flights, remote cargo ops, and all those type of features can be expected in this release when it drops this November, for those who want to try out the new Microsoft Flight Simulator arriving this November. Another major announcement that came out of this show was obviously the first proper gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows, coming out on the 15th of November for Series X and S, PS5, Steam, and it does look cool. It looks really good, I think, and obviously Ubisoft did a whole walkthrough yesterday with their showcase, and we'll talk about that in a gaming news video that I'm going to do for the Ubisoft Forward. The further reveals they did for Assassin's Creed Shadows coming later in the year. Another cool game that I thought was really interesting is a game set in the UK, funny enough, called Atomfall. It's going to be day one on Game Pass. It's going to be on Series X, Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows PC. And essentially, this game is set in the British countryside. I recall pubs, quantum valleys, red phone boxes. Yes, red phone boxes are in there. And it's kind of more of a fictional version of the nuclear disaster from the North England in 1957. It's kind of more of a fictional storytelling of that event, pretty much. That is basically set 5 years after the event, pretty much, is what they're doing. And you get to explore odd people, wreckage crews, rogue government agencies, and others along the way. It's going to be a single player survival action game when it comes out. Yeah, it sounds very compelling. And the studio who are behind it, which is Rebellion, I believe they're very known for they're known for their making of the Sniper Elite and Zombie Army franchises. They say they're going to reveal more about this game later, hopefully soon, maybe later this year. So we should be learning some more about this game, hopefully later in the year, which I'm very interested to learn more about it, because they did say, funny enough, that they're taking elements from Doctor Who, funny enough, in this game. So I'm very intrigued to see how that works. Whether they're going to have maybe like an Easter egg for the TARDIS potentially, maybe, I don't know. It might be worth keeping a close eye on this one, because they might secretly put like a TARDIS Easter egg in this game that might be worth checking out. But it certainly caught my interest when I saw this. So I think this game might be a one to keep an eye on, especially considering it's something unique from that came out of the Xbox showcase this year. Then we had also another interesting game that came along called Exploration 33. This is a new RPG game that came out of nowhere from the showcase. It was one of the surprises that came out. From what we can gather from this, it's essentially inspired by it's essentially inspired by like a French story. It's kind of how they're describing it. It's more of like a period famous of its stunning, languishing. It's basically, it is set in France, but it's more of a deserted version of France in Paris. Essentially, as a member of an exploration, we're embarking on an impossible quest to end the patriarchy cycle of death, and your journey through the vast and beautiful fantasy world where you would battle deadly adversaries and befriended fabled creatures and discover the trace of those who came before. So it does sound cool. So I might give this one a shot when it comes around. I think this RPG might be interesting to check out when it comes around. Then, of course, we've got Dragon Age Valgard, our first look at the game, the first reveal of the title from BioWare and EA. That also happened at the Xbox showcase. So, and they've obviously had a separate reveal, which I'll leave a link if you want to see the showcase for Dragon Age Valgard. They shared more details about the game. And the cool thing is you get to, they're giving us a chance to choose between 7 characters pretty much, which is really cool. So they're introducing a new character, Rogue, who's a brand new hero. So we basically have heroes as part of the game, which is pretty nice, and we get to play around with different abilities, which would be nice. So that's pretty much the gist of what the gameplay is going to be like for Dragon Age Valgard when we get our hands on the game later this year for Series X and S, PS5, etc. If you want to check out the new BioWare's new Dragon Age. But of course, we move forward to discuss about the obviously another major announcement we got was, of course, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. This also got another reveal, saying it's gonna they didn't have a release date, but funny enough, there are pre-orders out now for a collector's edition for this game, making it sound like it might be coming this year. We're not too sure because they didn't give us any release dates or anything. So it's really hard to know if it is coming this year or not. But considering pre-orders have just gone live, I would assume that yes, it is coming later in the year. I guess we'll just wait till we have more details because I'm pretty confused about this one. Is it coming later this year? Is it? Hopefully we'll get some clarity sometime, maybe at Gamescom, we'll get some clarity as to what they're actually doing with its release date. Curious about that one. We also had another trailer for Stalker 2. This is coming out in September. We know it's coming in September because it's going to be early September where we'll get another chance to play Stalker 2. Can't wait to check this game out. I think this game's got potential to be really good. Obviously, it's also made by Ukrainian developers. So you'll be seeing a lot. You'll be hearing a lot of Ukrainian voice actors in this game as well. But of course, another major announcement we have to acknowledge is also Diablo 4. Vessel of Hatred. It's coming out on the 8th of October. You can obviously pre-order the DLC now, ready for the release when it comes to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PC through Battle.net, Steam, and Windows PC will all be offering this, and also Game Pass owners will have access to so we'll have some discounts for the DLC when it comes out on October the 8th. So yeah, and also if you pre-order, you get immediate in-game rewards for pre-ordering the release, which is pretty nice. We also and then of course we also had the opportunity to learn about the Starfield DLC called Shattered Space that's going to be rolling out it's going to be rolling out at the end of the year, probably most likely in September, considering this is meant to be due later in the year. It does look very creepy though, the creepy aspects of Starfield starting to come out. And then on top of that, they also revealed a new update that's just gone live where they're adding creations. Obviously, very similar to how Fallout had creation mode on their game, on Fallout 4. They're doing the same with Starfield, where you can now, where they're inviting community members members of the community to make some mods and stuff for creation. And it's just essentially features like that are being added as part of the June update that's just gone live for Starfield. So, and also they've added a new bonus for the premium edition. So if you now get the premium edition, you get 1,500 creation credits to use in the game, which is essentially, if you've already got that edition, you essentially get that automatically from basically logging into the game if you haven't been on the game for some time. So that's pretty nice. We also had some hardware announcements from Xbox where they've announced the special edition Series X, which is a Galaxy Black, which now comes with 2 terabytes. So yes, a 2 terabyte Series X and S that's going to be coming out later this year, along with the 1 terabyte Xbox S with Robot White. And there's also the very first all digital Series X console, which is white, that's going to be coming later this year. They haven't said exactly when that you can expect them to be available, but they say they're going to be announcing in the coming months pre-order details for these new Xbox hardwares that are going to be rolling out later this year. But on top of that, Phil Spencer was on IGN Live and actually confirmed that there is a Xbox handheld device in the works. So yes, an Xbox handheld device is definitely coming from Microsoft. So yes, that'll be another hardware we can look forward to in the near future. I'll be interested to see how soon it will be until we get to experience the handheld Xbox console, which I'll be very excited to see how that plays out. Hopefully a reveal is coming soon for this handheld. But yeah, these are just some of the announcements coming from Microsoft. They got plenty of other announcements like State of Decay 3 was revealed, Perfect Dark. As you can see in this list here, all these games were announced as part of the Xbox Showcase. Pretty amazing, nevertheless. And then, of course, we have Black Ops 6, which I'm going to do a separate video looking at all the stuff confirmed in the Black Ops 6 Direct, which confirms plans that Call of Duty have for the rest of the year in terms of reveals for Black Ops 6, which I think are going to excite a lot of Call of Duty fans. But nevertheless, these are all the announcements coming from the Xbox Showcase and the Summer Game Fest as the first two massive showcases following PlayStation State of Play. And I will catch you all in my upcoming gaming news covering the Call of Duty Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct, as well as the Ubisoft Forward announcements. So see you then.